Yes. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Happy Friday. And I can be more excited than today to bring our good friend Peter Collin from Cross Country Mortgage to offer something very special.
Yes, sir.
This program, guys, been a game changer. I think we've assisted with this in the last couple of weeks, probably like 3 to 4 families, which were on a brink of possibly not being able to buy a home because of a short of funds to now becoming a homeowner, right? So without any further ado, we got Peter Collin, Cross Country Mortgage, talking about today a super special program called SONYMA, State of the New York Mortgage Agency. And now I leave it up to you. Want me to just share screen and go straight to the presentation, or?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, actually, you know what? Let me just tell people. So, State of New York Mortgage Agency, right? Wonderful loan program, mostly geared towards first-time home buyers. Although you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, does have to be a principal residence.
Got it.
But you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. Let's go to the presentation. I'll show you. And while Raj is doing that, so what they do is they have something called DPAL. It's called down payment assistance. It's down payment assistance loan, and it's a forgivable zero interest loan that one is given by SONYMA if you qualify. And I'll tell you the qualifications during this presentation. It's given if you stay in your property for 10 years. They're looking for you to stay in the loan, stay in the property for 10 years. And the first program that I want to talk about is called Achieving the Dream. Achieving the Dream specifically with DPAL. DPAL can be 3% of the purchase price up to and including, it maxes out at $15,000. So once you get to a $500,000 purchase price or above, you max out at $15,000. And again, as I said, it's a forgivable zero interest loan. It's a second lien for 10 years, which can be used towards your down payment or closing costs, which is really awesome.
So in other words, if you're purchasing a home that's worth $700,000,
yeah,
3% of $700,000.
No, you wouldn't do that.
It's $21,000. You're not getting $21,000.
Correct.
It's capped at
$15,000.
So if you're purchasing a home for $400,000, 3% is $12,000. You get only $12,000.
Exactly.
Got you.
Exactly.
So it is 3% of the sales price capped at $15,000.
That is correct.
Clear. Perfect.
That is correct.
Carry on.
Okay. It's a 30-year SONYMA 30-year fixed rate mortgage, no points, and you can put down as little as 3%, which is pretty awesome, right? And I'll tell you, there's different.
I think today's presentation will keep it super simple.
Okay.
Right. And then if anyone wants to maybe set up a consultation with you to go over the scenario, then we can set up a separate consultation one-on-one. You can really explain, but I'm going to keep it simple.
Very good.
People can understand.
Very good. And I like you cutting in and asking because, right, we want to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. So
the bottom line, first of all, first-time home buyer, right? Principal residence, right? So you can buy it for an investment property, right?
Correct.
It's a full income check loan, right?
That is correct.
So
and we're going back 3 years, right? So SONYMA looks at 2018, 19, and 20. They're really calculating your income.
So are they averaging out last 3 years, or
no,
average out 2 years?
It's good. They would only average out if you were a variable income person, or if you were self-employed, and that average would be over 2 years. Yes, it'd be similar to Fannie, what they do for Fannie and Freddie.
So it's an income check, full doc, 30-year fix.
30-year fix, no points.
No points.
$850 bank fee.
That's
right.
It.
Processing and underwriting. That's it.
Got it.
And of course, other closing costs, title fees, attorney fees and stuff like that, as always. 120-day rate lock. 120-day rate lock. Free rate lock.
Got it.
And right now, by the way, the rate is extraordinary. SONYMA's got a 2.875 30-year fix on Achieving the Dream program with DPAL.
Achieving the Dream program.
Yes.
I love it, bro.
And there it is, Achieving the Dream.
I love it.
And seller concessions and gifts are allowed. And yeah, it's just just a wonderful.
You did the
wonderful
first
program.
part, right?
Obviously, a lot of people love this. Now, there are, of course, your qualifications,
I was
right?
going to ask, is there a
This is-
catch? Is there a catch?
Well,
Okay.
a catch in the sense that yes, there are qualifications. By the way, let me go back to the DPAL. So talk about a little catch, right? So if you don't stay in the home and the mortgage, if you don't stay in the loan and on the home for 10 years,
Okay.
then SONYMA can recapture the portion of the time that you didn't stay.
Understood. So in other words, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
You got 15,000.
Yep.
They take the 15,000, they divide it in by the 10 years. So basically it's $1,500 a year. Give or take, just a very simple
That's
math.
exactly right.
$1,500 a year. Let's say you stay there for 8 years.
Yep.
You decided to sell the property 8 years in, right?
Yep.
That means you possibly could owe them back for 2 years, which is $1,500 each year, about $3,000 back.
Exactly what he
Got
said.
it. Simple
Exactly.
math. And is it for sure, or does it depend on something, or?
It's 99% they're
All
going
right,
to ask for the money back.
So count with $1,500 each year. As long as you stay there for 10 years, you get to enjoy the full 15,000.
That's correct.
If you decide to move on for whatever reason before the 10 years, then you're going to be returning that part back.
That's correct.
Clear.
And I think the logic is just, this is not a program
It's
where
an incentive. They want you to stay in the property.
exactly.
Makes sense.
Stay in the property, stay in the loan. So that's it on that. So now they have income limits, right? And by the way, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but they have two programs that are two of my favorites: the Achieving the Dream with DPAL, and then there's the low interest rate with DPAL. Okay, the low interest rate. So the Achieving the Dream with DPAL has these income limits that you see on your screen right now.
So let's focus on those. Okay, so
let's
basically,
focus on those.
SONYMA, State of New York Mortgage Agency, they have several different
different programs.
Understood.
Yes, I mean they have programs for veterans. They have programs for a number of different.
I know they got something for graduates too, right?
Graduates,
if you just graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, you could even do Achieving the Dream for graduates as well,
Got it.
right? You just need to have
So basically,
job.
as long as they graduate,
and you
they
get
don't need and they guaranteed a job and they get a letter offer job,
That's
offer
correct.
letter, right? They do not have to have those 3 years working history.
That
Is
is
that what it
correct.
is?
That is correct.
So that's
And
great.
it's not 3 years working history. We just look at 3 years.
Right. But
But
you don't
really,
have to have anything.
It's the last 2 years that are most important. But if you're a graduate, you don't have to have anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And when I say anything, you have to have a job.
Of course,
Right.
you gotta have an offer letter. That,
Exactly. You just don't have to have that 2 year history. Okay. So the income limit. So these are max. Now, this is very interesting. If you see on the screen, it says based on the number of people moving into the home and the location, right? So this is your, if you have one or two people moving into the home, then the max income limit, right? The max income limit is 114 combined is 114,520. If it's 3 plus or more people moving into the home, and a baby is considered a person, obviously. So right.
So any dependent, even if you got parents moving in,
Parent,
if
baby,
you got
brother, sister, whomever. So 3 plus more people moving into the home, 133,610. That's for the 5 boroughs of New York City and or Rockland County. And you can see it's bumped up a little bit in Long Island, and Westchester as well, bumped up a little more than New York City or Rockland County as well. So
Perfect, fair enough. So let's say I'm buying a home, I'm moving out to the island, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, I'm definitely 3 plus. So my income cannot exceed $145,480, correct?
that's correct.
If it does, what happens?
If it does, well, then we could move you into a higher program, which is the low interest rate program, which is has higher income limits,
Got it.
and then you could qualify for that program, right? We could look.
But would you still get that down payment assistance of $15,000?
In the low interest rate program, which is higher limits, the answer is yes. The only difference is it comes with a little bit of a higher interest rate, and that, as of today, is 3.25. So it's really
still very, very decent.
Still very
So-
competitive.
Okay.
Still very, very competitive. I just want to make a quick mention. There is 2 types of income that SONYMA does look at. Very important. It's the qualifying income of the person or the persons on the mortgage,
Got it.
as well as compliance income,
Anybody moving on the
which
property?
is not anybody. Actually, I just learned this recently, as a matter of fact. It's it's either the mortgage, people or persons on the mortgage, assuming they're occupying the property,
Got it.
a spouse, even if they're not on the mortgage,
Got it.
or if it's someone who's on the title or deed.
Understood.
Right?
So
That's
if
what's looked at.
if let's say I have my parents moving with me,
Yeah.
but they won't be on either.
We don't look at their
either
income.
or, even though they have, let's say, social security income, they have a
Don't look
pension
at
income. Okay, good. So
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
good.
Yes.
That's a good news.
Yes.
That's a good news. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So pretty clear over here. Moving on. This is important.
Yes.
Limits. Okay.
So let's just talk about, you see on the screen, target area, non-target area, right? Yeah, you see you see a number of things on the screen. 1 family, 2 family, 3 family, 4 family, target area, non-target area. Okay. So what's a target area? A target area is an area that SONYMA and the state sort of wants you to buy in. They want to build up that area. They want to bring more attention to that area, right?
That's called target.
That's called target.
That's
exactly.
the target. That's the target.
And if you buy in those areas where they'd like more purchasing, more people coming in, if you do, obviously they reward you for that. You look on the screen and you see those higher numbers, right? You see those higher purchase prices, right? If you don't, however, buy in a target area, that's okay.
How do we know?
Good question. At the bottom of the screen, I have a link. And I can send it to you guys or share it with you guys. It's a target lookup tool. You put in the address of where you're looking to purchase.
So is it fair enough if anybody who is interested in your presentation, can we just email it to them? Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, that would be okay.
Perfect. So if you guys want a copy of it, that includes the link to see whether or not that neighbor you're looking at, it is the target. Just put your email in you can DM us your email. We'll just send it to you. Fair enough?
That's fine.
Just
That's fine.
Carry on.
So you got target area, non-target area. Now, couple of benefits of buying in the target area besides just the higher purchase prices. You can see it listed right here. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer. How about that?
Oh my God. So it's investor friendly then?
Yes. However, it can't be an investment property.
Oh, okay. So it's a second property, uses a principal residence. You have to keep it.
You know what? I got to tell you, yes, it has to. You have to. In SONYMA, it's got to be a primary. This program is not set up for investors.
Understood.
But
let's say I owe a property out on the island.
Yeah.
Deep on the island, and then I work in a city, and I want to have a secondary property, primary, closer to work in Queens. I could probably apply this.
Yes, that is
understood.
Correct. That is
understood.
Correct.
And okay, guys, look, we don't want to confuse you. It's obviously a lot of stuff. Peter's always available for a consultation or one-on-one if you really need to. We just want to give you the basics.
Yes.
Right? Really, this is a really like a first amateur class.
Yes.
I would even say. Yes. Not amateur, a beginners. This is pretty much for beginners. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Initial information.
So we got it. Target area,
non-target area, and there's your limits for 1 family, 2 family, 3 family, or 4 family.
I mean, it's pretty amazing the difference. It's not $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 difference. We talk about big differences.
Yeah.
So they really want to grow those neighborhoods, huh?
Yeah. So low interest rate, I spoke about that a moment ago. It's the same benefits of the Achieving the Dream. I put ATD. Same purchase price limits, except again, a little bump up in the rate.
So why they call it a low interest rate if the interest rate is high?
I'd have to ask the folks at SONYMA. I don't know the answer.
Because you got me confused a little bit. All righty. Perfect.
Yeah. So here are the higher income limits, as you can see, right? If we were to, go back and forth, but you can see from the Achieving the Dream.
So basically five boroughs, 167.
Yeah.
And then 181. Got it. So you have more room.
Yes.
You have more room. Better chances of qualifying, actually.
Yes.
Got it.
Now this is an important screen. This is a very important screen because this tells you your maximum loan amount and your loan to value. What's a loan to value, everybody? Loan to value is basically, if you look at the bottom of my screen, it says 100 minus the percentage of your down payment. So if you're putting down 20%, 100 minus 20, 80. That's 80 LTV.
Got it.
It's basically taking what the loan is and dividing it by the purchase price.
Got it.
Right.
Clear.
So it's very, very simple. You buy a $500,000 home, you put down 100,000, 400,000 your loan, 400 divided by.
So in other words, if I'm buying, let's say, a single family home,
Mhm.
right, and the loan amount is above $600,000, I need to have 10% down payment.
No, if the loan is if the
Above
loan is
$600,000.
I'm sorry, yes, correct.
If the loan amount is above $600,000,
That's correct.
I need to have 10% down payment.
Correct. And 3% of which has to come from your own personal funds. You see,
Understood.
minimum borrow contribution, that's your
Understood.
own funds.
Got it.
The rest could be gift or seller's concession,
Fair enough.
right? And look at this though. This is really something you guys got to pay attention to here, because this is a 2-unit. You could buy a 2-unit property here, but 10% down.
No, bro, you can do 3% down.
Oh, well, right. Excuse me. You could buy. You could buy
Family with 3% down. As
it
long as
as
the
long-
loan
that's
amount
right.
is under 548,
That's true.
250, you can
I mean,
put
where you gonna
3% on a
find-
2-family.
Where are you going to find a 2-family?
I mean, not in New York City,
Right.
but look, guys, we can go out to the island, we can go
That's true.
upstate, right?
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's
Wow. So
yeah.
this is pretty clear. Co-ops, and then you got 3 to 4. You need at least, again, 5% minimum. No, 10% minimum. Got it. 10%
but
minimum.
that's still
3 to
tremendous.
4.
That's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac on a 2-family is
And then-
minimum
and then-
15%.
And then if you go above 540, it has to be 15 too. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, eligibility. There we go. Perfect.
So again,
I
first
think
time
the
home buyer.
DTI is super important.
DTI. Oh, let's go right down to the
Yeah.
DTI. So debt to income ratio, extremely important. What does that mean? It's debt versus income, right? You know it very well.
Sure.
You folks, debt versus income. That's important. We got to make sure that you make enough money to support all the debt, not only the debt of your new mortgage, but the debt of your car payments, your credit
Correct.
cards, all that kind of stuff.
Any minimum monthly debt from your credit, in other words.
That is correct.
Got
Any
it.
minimum monthly payments that are on your credit report does not include cell phone. We're not going to see a cell phone bill on your credit
So
report.
I see the first thing over here. So this one is pretty much the toughest to qualify because FHA is higher.
FHA is higher.
Conventional is higher, right? So
Yeah.
this one, and I just had that. I just showed a property in Jamaica Hills, and I wanted to introduce this to her. But when I calculated the DTI, she was actually at 49%.
Oh yeah.
So she would not qualify,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you need to really make sure your front debt to income ratio is
Yeah.
at 40. And if you don't have it on your own, then you might have to consider a co-signer.
Now, cosigner. SONYMA just recently allowed for non-occupying cosigners.
I mean, New York State is doing something right.
That's just SONYMA. I mean, my hats off, our hats off to you, because they had where you could, if you didn't have good credit or you needed someone to be a guarantor on credit, right?
Mhm.
You could get someone to do that. But now they have non-occupying co-borrow. And listen to this, it even gets sweeter. With this is just incredible. The non-occupying co-borrower's income is not included in that compliance income.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I mean, look,
I mean-
they're doing anything possible to continue for the economy to obviously grow in New York State. and
Yeah.
Continue for buyers having these great incentives to get into the marketplace.
Yep. Okay, so, and you don't, listen, SONYMA, here's another thing. SONYMA doesn't have a minimum credit score. They don't have a minimum credit score. They want you to have decent credit. If you have blemishes such as collections, liens, judgments, late
payments.
they want to know why. And if it's in the last 2 years, you might have difficulty getting a SONYMA loan. If it's more than 2 years out, they want to know why. And depending upon those reasons, they'll probably let you be okay.
Perfect. I want you to talk about the down payment.
Down payment. So, the down payment can be, as I said before, as little as 3%. Right?
Which is amazing. So, guys, it's 3% down. You get up to $15,000,
Yep.
and your interest rate as of today 2.875.
2.875.
Amazing, no brainer.
It's pretty amazing. Here's another thing. This is incredible. They will allow people to buy a home who are not citizens and not permanent residents. It's
I mean, it looks like they got a lot of free money. They just
It's incredible. This just happened for a client of ours recently.
I remember.
We have a client, unfortunately, she's been here for many, many years, and she's worked here for many, many years, and she's got a social security number, and she's got bank accounts,
But
and
her green card expired.
but her green card expired.
And we could not do a conventional.
And we
finance.
could not do a conventional loan, and we could not do an FHA loan.
So Sony may save the day.
Sony may save the day. And we couldn't do the conventional loan, not because of the green card expiring, because they were willing to accept that. But she also had a foreclosure that was in the last 7 years. They wouldn't accept that, but Sony Mae did.
And again, guys, I know that's a lot. It's a lot of
It's a lot
information.
of
Like
information.
me and Peter, we can process it quickly because we talk about this pretty much every single day, right? But again, we want to keep it nice and simple. Let's talk about some of the cool things, and I think we'll wrap it up in about 20 minutes.
So again, I mentioned a moment ago, non-occupying co-borrowers are allowed, guarantors in the event you don't meet the minimum credit requirements, gifts are allowed, seller's concessions, mortgage insurance, very important to you guys. If you don't know what mortgage insurance is, it's if you put down less than 20% on a purchase in the United States, right? Then the government says you need to pay mortgage insurance. And somehow, sometimes there are programs that'll say, well, there's no mortgage insurance and you're paying less than 20%. It's there somewhere, right? It's built into the interest rate. It's somewhere there's insurance if you're putting down less than 20%. At least I believe so. But Sony Mae does two things. They allow for two things. You can either pay monthly mortgage insurance, or you can pay it off in one shot, which we call single premium, right? Single premium, we calculate based on.
And you knock it out at the time of the closing.
Time of the closing, it's part of your closing costs, and it's gone. It's based on your credit score and how much you're putting down. No minimum credit score necessary, as I mentioned. You can be a recent college graduate, as we mentioned. You can purchase a two-family home with 10% down versus conventional at 15%. Gifts of equity.
No, you can do 3% down as long as the loan amount is under 540.
Yes.
But in New York City,
Yes, right.
it's
New York City
pretty rare.
It's a rare thing.
And then you can have a gift of equities, etc. So basically,
yeah, that's really it. I mean, I speak about the client that we just took care of.
That's fine. So in a nutshell, 3% down.
Yeah.
Fixed 30 years interest rate of 2.75 as of today.
Yep.
You can get up to $15,000 in a grant, and you can use towards your closing costs or down payment, right?
Correct.
Like I just had a client, right? He didn't really need the money, but I told him, look, the money is available to you. It's a low interest rate. You might as well utilize the $15,000 towards your renovation. He's planning on doing a kitchen. So I said, here you go. Here's your kitchen renovation money.
I mean, it's really free money.
As long as you stay there for next 10 years.
As long as you stay in the home and alone for 10 years.
Got it.
Right? If you can't do that, or you don't think you're going to, and even if you don't, okay, so you 3 years short. So you get back $1,500 a year. Right? It's a fair deal.
I think we're good.
We're good.
We've got about 23 minutes. We did good. Usually we take about an hour to look about this. Thank you so much. Guys, anybody who wants a free consultation with Peter to see if you qualify for this, don't hesitate to DM us. Other than that, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Peter, thank you again so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Take care, guys.